Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a celebratory episode of the Missing Wolves post-game live stream podcast, whatever it is. I'm your host, Andrew Dukowicz from Zone Coverage. And with me today, we got a couple of guests from the Minnesota Please Understand Sports podcast. I'm adding sports because I feel like there's a lot of things Minnesotans need to understand, especially in November, like driving for one. But anyways, Matt Hagemeyer and Jake Ulrich joining the show. Matt, how's it going, man?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on the program. Good chatting with you again. Excited to break down a game, a good result, which I feel like is kind of rare when we go out on some of these late night West Coast trips. So good to be on and chatting.
Hopefully there was nothing fun to do in Sacramento and everyone just got a nice restful sleep. Jake, how's it going tonight, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having us on. Yeah, just pumped to see a nice win, nice coast, no stress. It's fun. Like these kind of games.
Yeah, nice palate cleanser after what happened on the gridiron this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what your pod is going to be this week is what on earth happened to JJ McCarthy.
We're gonna break down all 8 false starts in detail.
JJ McCarthy
today. I don't know. It's kind of just like you're gonna see some good and some bad, right? And you got more of the bad this week. It's like that's kind of the goal. I think the rest of the way is like just get this guy acclimated and try to get an understanding of what to expect going into next year. That's my take on it. But yeah, tune in Tuesday at 5:30 for all the false start breakdowns.
Jake, how about you? Pretty similar?
Yeah, for the most part. It's just 4th game of his career, so just steady as she goes. Let's just try and get some positives out of it. Playoffs are never the goal of this season, so let's just see if we got a franchise quarterback or not. That's a kind of a big thing. So,
well, and perfect segue because we have a franchise player in Anthony Edwards who went 0 for 5 in the first quarter, then just casually went 7 for 11, dropping 26 points, had 5 assists, game high plus 25 on the net rating, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 5 of 11 from 3. 2 turnovers despite being the primary ball handler for 3 straight quarters. I mean, Matt, I feel like when I came on your podcast earlier this year, we were kind of talking about what could be different for the Wolves this year. I mean, this seems like a different Anthony Edwards, right?
Yeah, just like the comfort level of being the primary ball handler, right? It's kind of like he's ready for Finch and the team to just throw anything at him. And he, like, to me, that's kind of the main thing I've seen from him so far. And it's just you see it in the offensive numbers, like this has kind of been kind of like an inverse of what this Wolves team has been the last couple of years, where it's like defense competitive against the good teams, and then maybe we're get caught slipping against some of the weaker opponents. And this year it's like good offense destroying all the bad teams, and then we've had a couple of mishaps against the good teams, even though it's been pretty limited sample size. So I don't think anyone on this pod or should be too worried about like the defense, or I feel like that's more kind of just like, are they engaged? What's the effort level night to night? And you saw it tonight, man. Like Rudy just came out and set the tone. But yeah, Ant, it's like 0 for 5. I was never worried. I'm like, I think wasn't he quoted as saying that was his favorite arena to play in?
Yeah.
Sacramento.
I think so.
It was pretty empty tonight, so I don't know if it was in his top 5 tonight, but
maybe the sight lines were throwing him off with all the empty seats back there or something.
I mean, you never know.
He figured it out. But yeah, I just thought I'd remember that because it was such a random one for him to select as his favorite. But God, he can make the game look so easy. And the ball is moving this year, and everyone just looks comfortable. We're seeing, I'm sure we'll get to Jaden, his ceiling, and you're just like, God, I might have to rethink what I even thought coming into this year. But man, he's a legit top 5 guy, Ant, and there's a good reason why our expectations are so high, and it's because we got him on our team.
I mean, he shot like the most volume threes other than Steph Curry and James Harden last year. So it's hard to say like, oh, maybe last year was a fluke just because the volume that he shot was so much. But he's shooting just 48% from three so far this season. I mean, obviously that's not in play for an entire year, but Jake, could he be like on a 50-40-90 path? I mean, free throws might be the toughest one for him.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the line enough. That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I think he's been taking it to another level. It's just amazing that every single time we see him every start the season, it's just there's something new he adds to the game, just elevates it. But yeah, not only that he thinks he can take these easy games seriously and try and go for some scoring records. Maybe this is the year he can make that another leap to getting a high 20 average or something like that even too. So it's been real good. I'm loving everything about it so far.
And Jake, I'm going to keep it with you. Teresa mentions, they're becoming more cohesive. It's really interesting with this team because I feel like the last 3 off seasons, the ball movement is great in training camp. And then the second the regular season starts, it just falls off a cliff immediately. This year, it seems like that ball movement has actually stuck. I mean, again, we're only 10 games into the season now. It is 10:42, so 10 games into the season, 10:42 at night. I'm already ready for bed. But have you seen enough through 10 games, Jake, to kind of say that this ball movement style is here to stay?
I feel so, yeah, because I feel like the chemistry with this whole team now is just times 10 from what it was last year. Obviously, Jules and Dante coming at the beginning of the season, 10 days before the season started and stuff. So I think that was just real bad last year. The chemistry wasn't there. Nobody knew how to play when they cut, stuff like that. But now we got everybody here. Everybody's paid. There's no overseas, no FIBA stuff at all. So I feel like everybody got to work this summer. We just really are just a well-oiled machine right now on passing. Turnovers are still a little stupid every now and then here and there. We'll throw in the second row. But overall, though, I think just going in with the same team running it back right now has really been a huge positive to start the season off.
I mean, that was really what this team was saying all offseason is like, we feel like we're right there if we just come back, work on the margins, get some fast break points, get a little bit more efficient on offense, do a little bit less dumb stuff on defense. And I mean, I've kind of phrased it as like they're a Jalen Williams ankle injury away from being the best team in the West.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, where do you think, again, 10 games in, they're 6-4, they're ranked, they're 6th in the West if you want to already start standings watching, but where do you feel like they have kind of showed they fall in the Western hierarchy? Do you think they're closer to that Denver, Oklahoma City, or do you feel like they're closer to that Houston, Clippers, Lakers? Mavs are bad, but I'd assume they figure it out at some point. But which one do you feel like they're trending towards?
I'm going to round up and put us with Denver and Oklahoma City just because of what we've done in the playoffs. But, we're talking about the offense and like, it's great against the Kings and the Jazz and the Nets and the Hornets. It's like, to me, it's still kind of like a, let's wait and see. The thing is, it's like, you might have to wait a while because the schedule is like pretty easy for the next couple of weeks. Like we'll get a Denver on Saturday and, there's like, kind of like, it's like a weekly, here's your weekly test against a competent team. Let's see how these numbers bear out. But, the ball's popping, like we said. It's like, and sometimes it's just, it's kind of a lazy answer to just say, but like they're making shots, man. Like everybody's knocking down shots. Like even in the limited minutes, like Mike's knocking them down. And, you can just, use that as the reason for anything, but it's like, go back to the playoffs. Didn't we go an entire half missing every 3? So it's like, you can't just assume all this stuff and the looks are good. So I would kind of put us up with the better teams based on, and you kind of have seen it in the last game or two of like, all right, ESPN on Wednesday at the Garden, pretty embarrassing. I don't know if you saw anything behind the scenes covering them on like Thursday or maybe shoot around Friday of like, all right, let's turn the dials here like they can. And we've seen in the playoffs. So I still put us up there with, I think OKC is still kind of on their own tier. And I was, hate watching them a little bit in between football and tonight's game. And, they've had a kind of a carousel of guys in and out in the lineup. And it's just like, doesn't even matter. They're just like you said, Jake, well-oiled machine. That's OKC. But I feel like we need to be in that conversation, and the defense will come around, and tonight and I get in Friday as well. That was kind of the two complete games we threw, and you're like, all right, this is what we were thinking we were signing up for to start the season. Sure, it took a little while, I guess, but there's reasons for that, and it's like, you know what, they're ramping up too, right? It's the start of the season. You can't just expect all cylinders to be firing right out of the gate, but yeah, I still have the same goals I had coming into the season. I guess that's kind of how I'll put it. Do you agree? Are you in the same boat?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought they would be, just like looking at their schedule, I thought they would be 8-2 at this point. So they're kind of 2 games behind where I tentatively had them for whatever that's worth, right? I mean, figured they would take one of the Lakers games, and then either the Nuggets or the Knicks, they would take one of those games. That being said, I mean, this is a team that oddly, the Anthony Edwards injury almost might have helped with the whole ball movement thing, just kind of solidifying Julius as that. I mean, Julius is essentially our, like, if we're going to give positions, like, Julius is essentially the point guard now. Like, probably 7 out of every 10 plays, he's initiating whatever the first action is. And then Ant's pretty much doing it the other 3. So, I feel like they're still on a really good pace to be that second overall seed. And then it's just one bad injury and they're right there going to the Western Conference Finals with a chance again. I did just bring up their schedule for people listening or watching. They go to Utah, at home against the Kings, their weekly test against the Nuggets, as Matt said. They get the Mavericks, who are struggling, the Wizards, who have won a game. I guess their weekly test that week is going to be the 5-5 Suns. And then they go to Sacramento after a game in Phoenix. And then they play Thunder, Celtics, Suns to close the month. So we're probably not going to figure anything out until the end of, that November 26th, 29th, 30th range. But I mean, if they can rattle off all these wins, they're going to look like a really good team going into that stretch, which, Jake, do you feel like anything has been like taken away from this team just by them kind of beating the teams they're supposed to and maybe dropping all the rest?
No, I don't think so. Maybe just like a little bit of like false ego inflation kind of a thing. But it's just nice of them that they've been still trying all 4 quarters, keeping the lead. Like, I feel like last year, a lot of these blowout wins that we've had, we would have given at least one of them back to where it was somehow tied or they made it close late in the 4th or something like that. But we're keeping the pedal on the gas. So hopefully, I feel like we're still going to be serious the whole time, but we'll see. It's still, like we said, small sample size, still early, but it's looking good and feeling good right now.
You're 100% right, by the way. Like, there was so many games with the Wolves and the Lynx last year that they would be up by 25, 30 points in the third quarter, and then it would be like a 12-point game with 4 minutes left, and we're like, oh God, like, are they going to choke this one away? Most of the time for both of those teams, they ended up closing the door, and like, it was fine. But these games are, I mean, this Kings and Jazz game were just different. I mean, it was cover to cover win. And I mean, let's be honest, the Nets probably, like, is there a lot of starting caliber players on the Brooklyn Nets right now? Not really. Utah, that was tough to watch, like Kyle Anderson in garbage time. The Kings actually have a competent roster. Like, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Sabonis are like proud NBA players. So I mean, I feel like this one at least had a little something to it. I don't know. Am I just kind of making a storyline, or do you kind of feel the same way?
The Kings are an interesting team. Like, they're basically like a 2K team put together where they're like, hey, Sabonis, he's an 88 overall, and DeRozan's an 85, and LaVine's an 86, and that should be a good team, right? And then you get them on the court and it's like, okay, what is this? Just a random selection of guys. And I don't know if they don't seem like they're enjoying playing together or what. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of Kings ball yet this year, but yeah, I mean, from our vantage point, like, no letdown from a, heavily anticipated NBA Cup matchup on Friday night too against the Jazz, right? Like, no cup hangover. But yeah, I mean, they got real guys, and we've had a weird, few years of matchups with the Kings where the home team loses all the games. So
Yeah.
then Ant starts 0 for 5, and you're like, what kind of night is this going to be? Even though while that was going on, like, the offense was still humming. We still had a pretty good first quarter, of course, capped off with a buzzer beater 3, of course, when we had the last shot. But tradition's tradition, I suppose.
Yeah, you can't win them all. They're going to give up buzzer beater 3s quite a bit. Yeah, it was funny. Chris Hine from the Star Tribune. I'm assuming he's doing something NBA Cup related, just like as it's that time of the year. So he was asking everyone we got to talk to the last couple days. Like, he's asking Finch, and Finch is like, yeah, I think guys really care about it. Like, they know what's at stake. They know there's money on the line. We asked Jalen Clark about it. Jalen's like, yeah, you get like first, second, and third, get like a check. Like, yeah, I want to win the money. Like, we asked Jaden about it. Jaden's like, yeah, like, we're going to get money. Like, I'm never going to turn down free money. Nas is like, yeah, we're going to try and get some money. And then they ask Ant, and he's just like, I don't know how it works. I don't really care. It's like, okay.
There were some hilarious quotes. I don't know if there was a video of it with the one Jaden said about getting a little wire transfer. I was dying when I was reading that. But I mean,
I don't put out because I'm like, that might get him fined. So I like don't put it out. But like, the Wolves put it out, and it's like, oh, all right, well, okay. If the Wolves are going to post it, I guess they're not worried about it. But yeah, it's just funny how like everyone can always say like the right thing, and then it comes to Ant, and Ant is just unauthentically Anthony Edwards at all times, no matter what. And they don't care. That's just what it is. Ant doesn't care, at least. Matt and Jake, I'm going to throw us over to a quick ad read here quick. When we get back, I want to talk Jaden, though, because I feel like he's probably the story of the year so far. But first, I got to pay bills. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard, and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. All right, Matt, I'm gonna read some numbers here for you, and then I'm gonna ask you just a point blank question that you can take 20 minutes answering it if you want. I'm very interested to hear what you have to say.
Challenge accepted.
Jaden on the season, 18.6 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 1.2 offensive rebounds, which is nice for your small forward, 0.8 steals, 1.5 blocks, 1.9 turnovers. I'm a big turnovers guy, so like, a 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. He's shooting 66.5% as his true shooting percentage, and his net rating is plus 29.7, which not bad. Is Jaden McDaniels an all-star now?
Well, I would just add too, and guarding the other team's best player while he's doing all that. So like, constantly. Yeah, I mean, he's making a good case for it. The interesting thing would be, so is Julius Randle. It's like, can we get 3 from this squad? But yeah, Jaden, we've talked, in the past when we've, talked Wolves about the second half of last year where you're like, all right, here we're seeing this is a different version than we've seen before. And Jim Peterson mentioned it tonight too, where it's like it's not like we haven't seen him do it. It's just getting him to do it on a night to night basis. And I think the efficiency is what's jumping out to me. Like tonight again, 8 for 10, and one of those two misses, he dunked right back the putback. So it's like, okay, I guess he technically 80% shooting, but so this is the thing, where you're looking in the beginning of the season, how can we take down an OKC? And it's getting this version of Jaden that is looking like a higher ceiling than I would have ever even maybe thought for him. And it looks seamless with what they're trying to fit him in with Julius and Ant, who are obviously high usage guys. And I noticed, I looked at half. I always try to what's the number saying at half, right? And Jaden was 3 for 3 after he'd been having such a great season. You're like, well, we don't want him just resorting to just sitting in the corner style again, even though he's been knocking him down. Yeah. And it looked like they ran something for him right out of the gate. And, he upped his usage again in the second half. These D cells that he's got in the lane are looking just real sharp. He looks like he's real confident in his ability to just be able to get his shot off over people and kind of figuring out like his sweet spots. And, the guy is such a gifted, like physical athlete at his size that you're just like, wow, man, like we might be even better off than we thought. So, I mean, just keep it going is all I can really say. But yeah, getting into the All-Star game, man, that would just be so sweet. And he's just an awesome dude. I'm sure you can, convey that as well. Like he's a great quote, even though he's like pretty shy and chill, but like he's always just giving the best quotes, I feel like.
He is to me at least, he is the funniest player on the team. Like I would take just like a ho-hum Jaden McDaniels over Anthony Edwards any day, because he's just hilarious. Because he's not looking for people to laugh at him. Like he's so like unassuming and like, I don't know, like he's from Seattle. I feel like it just fits that he's from like upper Northwest. It just fits his vibe. But I do quick cleanup here. Jaden McDaniels, he was plus 29.7 tonight on the net rating. He's only averaging plus 6.5 every single game. So not quite Hall of Fame worthy net rating, but still all-star starter caliber. I mean, pretty Jake, decent. I'll be honest, like if the Wolves are the 1 or the 2 seed at the break, like that usually means you're getting 2 or 3 all-stars. I mean, could Julius, Ant, and Jaden make it if Jaden keeps this 18, 20 points a game going?
I think so, yeah. If they're keeping this average going right now, they have to. But I know being a Minnesota team for as long as they are, they will probably get kind of screwed and take one guy will miss it just because. But I don't know. If voting was up to us, obviously, they all 3 should be there. They're playing just lights out.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like the vote and the West, like Austin Reeves probably has 2 million votes already. So it's just like, all right, how are we gonna figure that?
How are we gonna get past that? Yeah.
Like the West is just like ridiculously loaded.
But I vote Andrew Wiggins as a starter like not too long ago. Like, how do we get them behind the Jaden Daniels trend? I feel like
I don't know,
a K-pop type of person, right?
I think Ant was over there trying to lobby him in over the summer when he was taking his trip. So maybe he found some people over there to help him come vote for him.
Yeah, I forgot.
I do think what will help is the amount of national TV games this year. I mean, they are on pretty much once a week. And I think Jaden's game is it's fun to watch, right? Like he has the send back blocks off the backboard. He has like the steals where like he knocks someone down and just stands over him for 20 seconds. Like his paint fallaways and like paint jumpers are just gorgeous looking. Like I feel like he might get a good bit of fan vote, but I just wonder more of coaching and players, because I don't know if he gets maybe the respect that he probably should around the league.
He doesn't when it comes to the all defensive voting, that's for sure. So I feel like maybe that's a trend that you could look at. Does he, we've seen a few times over the summer, like little social media posts of him working out with Kawhi Leonard. Has he talked a lot about that at all? I mean, I feel like that'd be a great guy to go up against all day long to try to get better. And seems like it's having a good impact.
He hasn't talked about it at all. I mean, when we've asked him about his off season, him and I think it's his girlfriend, Allison. I don't think they're married, but like they live just locally in the Twin Cities, but he is at the gym every day, 365 days a year, like working on it. And like the nice thing with like the Wolves is Naz Reid also lives here and is at the gym 365 days a year working on his game. So like Jaden gets a lot of his like, I don't know. I feel like he gets a lot of his practice in with Naz, which I mean, is Naz the best defender to be working on? Who knows? But also like Jaden is probably closer to like a legit 6'10, 6'11 now. And he has that kind of sky shot that he shoots from the paint. Yeah. I don't really know. I don't really know how much he could have gotten from Kawhi on the offensive side. I almost feel like he needs to just go hang out with Kevin Durant for his summer.
Yeah. Naz did. There were some videos over the summer of like, it was like Naz, KD, Chet. I think Gilbert Arenas' son might even have been out there. Like, I think these guys are just like, hey, I might be in town. Like, where's the workout? Because they don't ever turn it off. And you mentioned that through the summer too. Those guys were all in the gym together, and that just the work ethic's contagious, right? Like it sounded like Terrence Shannon. We hear all the stats, all the thousands of shots he's been getting up, and I think it showed in his catch and shoot threes. It's been disappointing that he's been hurt while we've had some big leads, and he hasn't been able to get a little rust off just in some pressure-free scenarios, kind of like we've seen with Rob. But yeah, Jaden, his offensive game doesn't really look like anything like Kawhi, but like, if he's guarding you, right? Like that'll help, I'm sure. But man, if we could get 3 all-stars, so I might have to, that's a lot of jerseys to buy.
Yeah, you might go broke this year. I mean, you're going to have to
I am broke.
What, the starting 5 of trees?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll tighten the belt Jake, here at some point.
Let me ask you about, just Matt brings up TJ. What have your thoughts been on TJ so far this year? Because I feel like he might be slowly losing that Nickeil Alexander-Walker spot that was kind of given to him at first.
Yeah, I feel like at the beginning of the season he was doing pretty decent. He was earning his minutes. I feel like good play, plus minus minutes or score was in the positive usually every game. But once that went down, that's kind of when I feel like TJ's game kind of went down. So I feel like he might have tried to step up and do a little too much on the offensive side, and that was just getting in his head maybe or something. But now that Ant's back, it'd be nice to see him back in the lineup after being healthy. So I feel like that's going to help him kind of settle into the role he needs to be in a little bit more, maybe just shooting some threes, driving when he needs to. But yeah, I think hopefully when he gets back, I feel like he's going to fit right back in and then still get his maybe 10, 15 minutes a game. I hope at least.
I hope so too, but Jalen Clark comes in tonight 3 for 4 from 3, always a menace on defense. I mean, it seems like we're almost back to where we were last year, where it's like there's too many people on this team that need to get minutes. I mean, Matt, if you are looking at it now, obviously you have your starting 5, then you have Naz, who is going to get starter minutes. But between TJ, Jalen, and Rob, I mean, how do you pick out of those at this point? And that's not even mentioning Johan.
Right. I know. I love watching these Johan minutes, like just seeing his story of like basically not even playing basketball until like after COVID. And like now he's in the NBA as a lottery pick. So just seeing that like raw progression, I just hope he doesn't get hurt because he's just on the floor the whole 4 minutes he's in. But
yeah,
I think it's easy to go with Clark because I mean, he just gets his out the mud. Like he doesn't need to have the ball on offense. He can cut baseline and he has the ball for a second and he can make a layup, or he can get everything he gets is kind of like extra. these steals in the backcourt, all this kind of like dirty work type stuff. And yeah, if he can start knocking down threes, which, I think that's going to be hit or miss, the stroke looks fine. And he's going to be shooting probably wide open corner threes for the most part. But I think, it's just easy for Clark right now. And with the defense he brings as well, especially the way we started with just kind of nobody was really clocking in on that end full time. It didn't really feel like, except him and Jaden probably. But Shannon, though, I don't want to. I feel like you still need to like give him a path to make an impact. Like I like, they kind of did it with Rob tonight where they're like, all right, let's shelve a few of the Mike minutes here in the second quarter and see what Rob has tonight. If it's not there, hey, we tried, we'll get him next time. I'd like to see that for Shannon, but I don't know what's up with this like foot soreness. To me just sounds pretty suspicious in terms of like, well, what has he been dealing with this the whole time? It doesn't sound like he like aggravated anything. So maybe that explains why he's been a little hot and cold to start the season, I guess. But I think Alan Horton was kind of
benching, maybe
soft. Yeah. We'd love to bring that up around here, but Horton kind of alluded to that as well. Like it was maybe going on before they finally ruled him out. So maybe it's like, hey, you got to just like sit for a little while or this thing's never going to get right. So, the way we have our expectations, it's like, we're trying to get this dialed come, March and April for all these, the bench unit and, Finch is still, I think, tinkering with some of the rotations. I feel like
he's playing more than 8 guys for all of the Fire Finch crowd out there. He is playing 9 guys.
He's experimenting. And I think he's had to just with the way things have been up and down. And, like there would be past seasons, like even last year, and maybe it's just like my memory is more recent for how the season ends, but you're like, you could set your watch to these rotations. Ant's going to play the whole first and the whole third. And like this year, it's like, all right, I guess, Bones is coming in ahead of Terrence tonight. Okay. See what we got, like he's kind of tinkering with stuff and, we'll see that get more and more dialed in and, guys will get more comfortable in their role and, certain nights. It'll be interesting even to see tomorrow night back to back. Like, is Mike going to play? Right. It's at Utah. So probably they'll let him play, but it's a good problem to have with all these guys, I think.
It is. And I think I'll just be honest. Like, I think Finch really likes Jalen Clark. So I'm not surprised that Jalen Clark has gotten this job and now he's just going to probably have it for the rest of the year. But like, man, if you could get 12 minutes from TJ and then 5 to 8 from Rob or Bones, and you have a 9.5 man rotation going down the stretch this year instead of 8, like exactly 8 cut off, no one else. It would help, especially with like Mike and Rudy. Like I don't know how Mike is still effective at his age, but like he's still like a positive player every second he's out there. Jake, I want to ask you about Rudy too, just because, this is another game where you could almost tell it was just, we need to get Rudy involved from the jump, whether it's hitting him on short rolls, whether it's, I think Rob had an alley-oop to him early in the second. He was getting putbacks and rebounds. How important do you feel like it is to get Rudy going in these games, especially against kind of these lesser teams, just to build Rudy up?
Yeah, I think it's pretty important because you're gonna know with him if he's got it or not the first pass you throw at his hands. So instantly it's gonna be like, okay, we can do this tonight. We can keep this plan going. But I feel like if he starts getting a couple of dunks, couple of oops on the other end, then that defense just gets even better, and he locks down more. He starts swatting some more, getting some more blocks down there. So if they can get him going, I feel like you got to at least try to start the game every time.
Dude, he set the tone right out of the gate tonight. He's like, I'll get myself
for
going.
6 points, I think.
Block shot, and then he's off to the races and just housed one.
He went coast to coast, yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, Rudy, what the hell happened to you over the weekend?
In his baguette.
Speaking of Jaden, I asked him about that. I'll try and dig up the quote and maybe repost it. But I asked Jaden about it last year. I was like, what goes through your head when Rudy's like on a fast break? And Jaden's just like, oh no. It's like, oh, poor Rudy. Can't catch a break.
I know. He's like that one friend. We all have like the guy we kind of all rip on. It's like, that's Rudy for sure. But you'd need him, dude. He's the one guy. He has the fake
so
ID.
Crazy that it's Rudy too, because he is the most like after practice every day, he has like one of the assistant coaches sit on a weight bench, and then he drags this weight bench across the gym, like for like core training. He pulls it with like his abs, and it's just like he is the most physically imposing human being I've ever seen in my life. Like 7'3". He never wears a shirt during practice, like ever. And he's just like cut from marble. And then he just gets made fun of by literally the entire NBA universe. And it's just, man.
Yeah, it's everybody.
Yeah, he does. Nobody gets it worse than him. Like I was even catching those vibes from the France national team.
Yeah.
Like it felt like, none of there were some moments throughout that Olympics where those guys were giving him some bad looks. He ended up getting benched for a little while.
Then we
got to get that.
He had a finger injury.
Yeah, another soft benching. Go figure. We got to get that video of him dragging a guy on a bench. Like I don't know if you've posted.
I'll snag it next time I'm at actual practice and not a shoot around. I'll snag a video of it because it literally is like he has like this bench with weights all over it, and then just some dude stands on the back of it, and Rudy just drags it around. And it's just like
the internet needs that.
You are the strongest human being in the world.
Yeah, where'd you pick this up? Like, what a weird thing to get going on. But hey, it's working for him.
Rudy, if there's one adjective to describe him, it would be kind of a weird,
enigma?
Like good weird. Like I don't think I think he gets a little overblown for some of the social media missteps he's made and starting COVID and all of that stuff. Like probably a little overblown on that side, because like on the other side, he's like a massive Harry Potter fan. He's like,
of course he is.
He has like a foundation, Rudy's Kids, where he goes and just like reads books to kids, like eats a lot of quinoa. Like he's just an interesting dude.
Yeah. I love him, man. He's so cool.
He is just like such an interesting guy to have on your team. Like he gets even from Wolves fans, like some nights you're like, man, we're trying to spoon feed this guy and we can't even get him to like convert anything at the rim. But man, we need him. And I was thinking about this the other day of like, what if he gets hurt? Coming out of that Knicks game, we're like, who's the backup five? Does Baron J need to be getting a few minutes to solidify the glass here? But like, if Rudy goes down, like, what's the plan? Because then I feel like a lot of things have to change, and not necessarily like, from a personnel standpoint right away, but like, I don't know, man. Like that's a risky, and people have probably brought that up just with roster construction coming into the season. Like we didn't really address point guard. We don't have a backup center. Who really knows what would be the solution? And hopefully that doesn't happen. Because I looked up, like he plays a lot of games for a guy that size.
Yeah.
A lot of times like these bigs, like, you would think like you get the foot injuries or something like that. And to your point, like you said, he's keeps himself in great shape. So hopefully that we don't have to deal with that issue. But yeah, he's kind of like this, sideshow within the game too. Like he'll have just, even when he makes a shot, like it just goes in like weird, like the finger rolls, like, and you're like, all right, it's in, let's
like volleyballs it off the backboard. It hits the front rim at 100 miles per hour and then goes in.
I think he airballed a finger roll
Rudy's
in
on
the Jazz game, and it like went backwards. I don't know if it was blocked or not. Hopefully it was, but like you're like, oh man, I don't know.
But then he's like talented enough to where like the defensive on-off numbers are like shocking how bad the Wolves are without him. And he like single-handedly won playoff games last year just because like people were like, let's let Rudy get his, and then he did and won games. I agree with you though. Like if there's someone on this team that I am like, obviously if Ant goes down for a significant amount of time, like this season, all of a sudden becomes completely different. But if Rudy misses like 30, 40 games, I honestly feel better about Randall missing games than Rudy. Like it,
because
I
we
think
saw it.
Rudy would be
He
number
is.
2 on the team for like injury concerns. If somebody went down, it's like Ant then Rudy, I believe.
Yeah, I would completely agree with you. I mean, even if Jaden goes down, like they have people they can plug in there on wings. If Julius goes down, Nas can play. But if Rudy goes down, it's going to be a lot of Johan and a lot of Nas. And I don't know if either of those are great for this team this year.
At the moment, it don't look like it. No,
You got to outscore everybody at that point. Like that's got to be the way that you hold the line at that point.
Which I think they're second in offensive rating, so maybe they could just outscore everybody at that.
They're kind of doing it right now.
145 every night. Like I guess I wouldn't be shocked.
Sure.
Matt, Jake, I appreciate you coming on though. We hit the 40-minute mark and it's past 11 p.m. here Central. Now if I'm reading my schedule right, Matt, you're right back here with me tomorrow, right?
Right back in it, man. Facing the Jazz, facing probably a bunch of pissed off Utah Jazz after that cup showing. So on a back-to-back, let's see if let's take care of business, guys.
I'm kind of hoping we get just a lot of Bones and Rob. Like let Mike sit second night of a back-to-back. I know he only played a few minutes tonight, but let him sit. Let's just I'm really anxious to see what like Rob turns into this year. So let's just get fingers crossed tonight that we just get a lot of Rob. But thank you both for coming on. I do want to give Jake at least the opportunity to plug anything he wants to. Matt, I'll let you plug everything tomorrow here when you're with me. But Jake, anything, where can people find you? Where can people listen to the podcast? What's your favorite wildlife fund that everyone should go donate to? Anything you want. The floor is yours.
I'm just at BJ College on Twitter. Otherwise, just anything where we have our pod at just the Please Understand Pod Twitter. We're starting to past couple weeks we'll be going live, so we're trying the live thing on Twitter and YouTube, so you'll see us there as well. Otherwise, iTunes for your pod and Spotify as well. So that's about it for me though. And then Worldwide WWF Federation, the World Wildlife Federation. I just like them because they took it from the WWE. So
you're talking to a man wearing a CM.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
So, hey,
don't you give out your account number for a little wire transfer?
Yeah.
All right, guys. I appreciate you, and we'll be back same time tomorrow as soon as that Utah Jazz game finishes up. So thanks everyone for listening. Go subscribe, like all of the trigger buttons, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, man.